July 15th, 2020. Joe here at the Wake Up channel. I appreciate everybody for joining me today on this short video. I wanted to start off this video by quoting the Bible. Of course, I am not a particularly religious person. I do believe in God. I know there's a lot of people out there that are not religious, but the Bible does say some interesting things about the times that we are living in. Most notably, 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For you are fully aware that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night, while people are saying peace and security. Destruction will come upon them suddenly like labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. This is very important in these days and times that we are living in. Most notably here, Wal-Mart and Amazon, of course, are some of the biggest moneymakers during the pandemic because they have remained open. Amazon has made millions, billions, and billions of dollars, and that's okay. I'm not downing Amazon for being profitable during a time where they are providing a much-needed service. If you do not like Amazon or Walmart making money, then you should not give them any of your money. It's simple as that. I've made this argument over and over and over again. This is the way a free market runs. A lot of people that are complaining against these big corporations need to stop giving them your money. You need to take a stand against that if that is part of your ideology, and if it's something that you don't agree with corporations making a profit, then you should not be giving them your money. You should find someone that is local to give your money to, or you should make your own things. I don't have any problem against any of that kind of stuff. In fact, I don't like spending money at all. I like trying to do things on my own and creating things on my own if I have the ability. I don't even consider myself a jack of all trades, even though I try to do as much as possible. But that is not the argument here. We are going through a time of history right now where we are very scared of everything. We are screaming for peace and security, mostly for, how safe something is. Dennis Prager actually uploaded a video not too long ago, I think actually today, where he was talking to someone that called into a show, and he wanted to know, how he could go to a lot of these countries that were particularly unsafe. And, he was having a conversation with this person that called in, and he was asking them when he wanted to actually go to places like Israel or something like that. And he said simply when it's safe. Well, it's never going to be safe. There's no such thing as 100% safety. There's no safety net in life, period. If you go play out in traffic, as some of these protesters have done, it is no surprise that when something happens to them, like it has unfortunately happened to many people, they get run over either by accident or they get run over by someone that's just really mad at everything. And I'm not trying to make an excuse for those people that actually use their cars as weapons. I think they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But unfortunately, we do live in a world that is not safe. You have to take your own precautions. You have to, when you take your own life in your own hands, which we do every single day, we have to do as much as possible to stay safe and to do what we need to do to not to put ourselves in undue risk. Now, Walmart is making masks mandatory. I think Walmart and their entire subsidiaries such as Costco and others are making masks mandatory. Some people are freaking out about this. Some really don't care. I really don't care about this whole thing. If you want to wear a mask, that's perfectly fine. The only problem that I personally have with it is not the wearing of the mask itself. It is people freaking out over you not having a mask. There is simply no proof that the mask is going to protect you from a coronavirus. If people had taken grade 1 biology, or even in high school and college, they would understand that these viruses are very, very small, and they can get through woven fabric. Now, I do agree that if you want to protect yourself from a virus, I think the only thing that would be truly safe for you to do is, number one, either stay home or wear a plastic face shield of some sorts that completely encapsulates your head. Because if this thing is airborne, which I don't really believe it is, the only time that it is airborne is when someone sneezes. And the only time that you have the problem of getting infected of this from this coronavirus is if you either are directly in front of someone that sneezes that has COVID-19, or you're basically around a whole bunch of people for a long time and they're breathing all over you. The fact of the matter is that the majority of the people that are actually getting the coronavirus are getting it at home. They're spending a lot of time around other people and their family, and they are not adhering to the best social distancing and sanitary type things. We eat after each other, we drink after each other, we kiss each other, and so forth. This is what families do, and that is why any kind of virus, not just COVID-19, is able to spread so quickly in a family unit. Maybe that's why they're trying to destroy the family unit. I don't think so. The reason why they're trying to destroy the family unit is simply as part of the Marxism ideology. You have to break the society down so they will be compliant. This is the problem that I have with the mask. It's about a population that is over compliant to their government, even in the light of so many contradictory information that's not only coming out from our leaders, but also just simple science that people are not either remembering or they're refusing to understand and refusing to accept. It's really funny that those who are screaming about the mask are always the one that are screaming about climate change as well. Those are the same people that are saying that there's 500 genders as well. It's a pick and choose type of world when it comes to science. And this is the part of the story that people don't want you to really think about when it comes to COVID-19. 600 to 700,000 people die every single year of heart disease, but we don't have protests over that. People aren't scared to death over heart disease. We see people eating at McDonald's every single day. We see people not going to the gym. We see people leading very sedentary lives. They're sitting down all the time. They're not doing really much of anything for their cardiovascular system or their weight. We have an epidemic of obesity in this country, and no one seems to care. There's no protest out there for that. We aren't calling for for banning forks and spoons and plates and the banning of and cancellation of Wendy's and McDonald's and Burger King and all these types of things. So when it comes to science, when it comes to actually using our rational brains, it's a very pick and choose type of world. This is from Raw Story here. You can't make me. Anti-maskers revolt after Walmart announces mandatory face covering rule. This is a kind of a funny article here where they are, and this is the point that I'm talking about here. I mean, you could read this article and say, this is kind of funny and stuff. Walmart can do whatever they want to. They can make masks mandatory. They are not part of the U.S. government. That we know for sure. There are a lot of different people out there that have a conspiracy theory that Walmart is definitely part, and they've had different types of contracts with the government, and this is true for FEMA-like installations and preparations and so forth. So it's not outside the realm of possibility that Walmart could be making a lot of these decisions hand in hand with the government, or at least the government could be mandating something down, or trying to lead them in the right direction or their direction that they want them to go into. But that is the point of the story. If you read this story, it says Walmart on Wednesday announced that all customers in its stores will have to wear face masks starting on July 20th. It then further goes into some people, or some tweets and some responses here from Karen Clounch, I guess. She says, I'm still going to go in without one. You can't make me. There's other examples here. Obedience mask, not about health. It's about doing what you are told, no matter how stupid, and breathe in your own used air. Yes, stupid. It's a simple fact, and the test is BS. Now, this Raw Story is using some of the lower IQ, and I'm not going to say low IQ. I'm going to say simple talking people to make an example, and they're trying to basically make them look stupid. And this is what happens in a society that is being taken over by a different ideology, people who are the holdouts, people who want to remain free. They are put into this castigated type of category where they are ridiculed and mocked and called dunces and set to the corner. And this is what happens all of the time. We cancel these people out. We ridicule them. And we make fun of their stupid ideas of freedom. It is a simple fact that the Marxist type of ideology is trying to erase everything that is truly American. And what is truly American is being unsafe. When we actually took over this country or this land, because it wasn't a country, it wasn't very safe at all. It was actually very, very violent. And it wasn't just this country, okay? There's violence has had its place all over the world for all time, and it will never end. There will always be violence. This idea of utopia and a perfectly safe society is very, very dangerous, because then people start to believe that they can be truly safe and they can live in this utopia where no one ever dies and no one ever gets run over by cars and no one ever dies from a disease, and the polar bears are always safe from the effects of climate change. This is not going to happen, okay? This is a fairy tale that the left, the progressive, and those who want to forward this Marxist ideology want you to believe. They want you to believe that if you don't do certain things, that you have to go in lockstep. Check out Lockstep and the Rockefeller Foundation. Some people think that this whole lockstep theory coming out from the Rockefeller Foundation is some sort of conspiracy theory, but it's absolutely not. It's just part of the plan. There's so many different ways that the deep state and the shadow government and those who want to take your freedoms away and usher in a communist state, there's so many ways that they can do this. People want to say that Trump is the last wall against this, and in a lot of ways, yes, he is. But it is in a constantly evolving situation where the strategy is always changing. These are very smart people, and they have their eyes on the goal at all times. So this whole mask thing, it's not simply just the mask. It is the strings that are attached to the puppet. And it's the strings that you attach to the back of your ears when you put these masks on. I'm not saying you're stupid if you wear one, but if you're wearing one just simply because someone else is making you do it, or they're, I guess, trying to make you feel bad if you don't, shaming you into doing so, if you feel like that the government is only there for your own welfare, then you are sorely mistaken. If you have not taken the time to actually look at the science behind the wearing of this mask, please remember that when this whole coronavirus thing started, they said the masks were not going to help you. They want you to conveniently forget that. But that is simply not the way it is. We have to have good memories when it comes to things that we are told. We simply go from one 24-hour or 1 hour news cycle to the next, and we have collective amnesia. And these are the types of problems that turn people into the most willing sheep they're more than willing to hurl themselves off the next cliff for their government. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Have a great one. Bye.